Hey, I'm Bobby.
Hey, I'm Dan.
And we're back from our adventures and ready to talk about it.
Yeah, because this could be a podcast, I think, where we talk about adventures.
Did you ever have posters in your childhood home or childhood room?
I mean, not really. No, so my bedroom was decked out in Native American stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know
that's
why.
interesting. You didn't decorate your childhood bedroom?
No, I did. I did.
You're just questioning
why?
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, I've always had a strong fascination with nomadic people. From the Plains Indians to the Roma to the Gauchos of Brazil. I
didn't know this about you.
Yeah, there's something, a certain amount of romance in my mind about someone who is not locked down.
What about the gypsies?
Well, that's what the Roma. That's the appropriate nomenclature, dude.
See, now I push back because gypsies are perfectly fine.
Right. They refer to themselves as the Roma.
That's fine.
And they don't refer to themselves as gypsies. And
Gotcha.
gypsies now has a negative connotation.
Never has in my eyes.
Right.
Gypsy is a great Fleetwood Mac song.
Very good.
It's
very good.
If anything, it's glorified in a very positive way.
Right. And there's just something about so gypsy, there's something about those people, and also and then to a lesser extent carnival workers and rodeo people. There's just something about people who just they don't necessarily have a home.
Yeah.
That they just roam from town to town. And
I've told you about my affinity for the trailer park life. There's
right.
I feel like trailer park life is where a roamer or
the Roma.
The
roamer.
A nomadic person would retire.
Yeah.
In a trailer park. Because you can pick that thing up and go.
Right. And later in life, also is river people as well.
Yeah.
There's something about it.
There is a romantic quality.
Yes.
For sure.
Not that I necessarily I don't want to live that life.
There's a part of me that thinks, again, choosing to do it versus being forced to do it are two different things.
Sure.
So would I choose to do it? Yeah, for a time.
Yeah.
Being forced to do it,
right?
That's where the sadness comes in.
At no point did I ever say, God, I'd want to be a refugee. I just want to
No one does.
I don't think anybody says that.
No. I'll be a Fuji.
Yeah, you'd be a Fuji.
But not a refugee.
Yeah. So, for some reason, Native America, in particularly the Plains Indians, they always fascinated me. So that was how I decorated my bedroom. I don't know why. My mother encouraged it. She's like, it's one of those things where it's oh, you like this thing? Mm-hmm. Let's lean in hard to it.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law received 37 bread boxes as gifts from my mother.
Because she went to a Panera Bread once?
Well, no, she's like, oh, bread boxes are, oh, that's an interesting thing. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll have a couple of those as decorations because they do come in all shapes and sizes and colors and stuff. And literally, my sister-in-law told my mom, you got to stop. I cannot take another friggin' bread box in my life.
Well, it's like me, I play guitar.
Yeah.
And for years, I dare say decades now, two of them, just two decades, because it hasn't been that long. But my dad will buy me any guitar-shaped item for a gift.
Yeah.
It's not the gift, but it's a part of the gift.
Yes.
So a guitar-shaped spatula.
Yes.
I've gotten a guitar-shaped cutting board, which is not practical, by the way.
No, that's maybe a charcuterie board.
I haven't gotten that yet.
Because because it's got a handle, right? And
maybe
I can imagine a charcuterie board.
Yeah, just anything guitar-shaped.
Yeah.
I will, for sure, there's guaranteed I will get one of them. And thankfully he moved on from the guitar-shaped, or the guitar T-shirt, because that's the last thing any musician that you see wearing
a guitar T-shirt,
any kind of guitar T-shirt. Because I even waffle back and forth on the wearing a Fender T-shirt. Here's the brand.
Yeah,
there's something poser sellouty about that.
Well, it's a little bit. It's that the idea of don't wear the band shirt
Correct.
to the band you're going to see.
Correct. There's a little bit of that.
It's a bit gauche.
It's a bit gauche. Exactly.
as you would say.
Yeah.
But so yeah, my bedroom, it was primarily like Plains Indians and Indian.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of the motif. And then I had a Batman Forever poster.
Just keeping along this same motif.
Yeah, no, I wanted to love Batman Forever like a lot.
You wanted to love, so you didn't.
Right. Well, no, like when I finally watched the movie, it's like, so no, I had a couple of magazines. Like there was a Nickelodeon magazine and Entertainment Weekly, and my friend had like a Disney magazine all about the new Batman movie, and I was like, oh, this looks so good. It looks really good. For some reason, I really enjoyed the design of the Batman Forever Batmobile. Mm-hmm. There's something about it. Also, because I really, really did not like the Batman and Batman Returns, the Michael Keaton Batmobile. I thought.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, I
love that.
I thought it was kind of like weird, bulbousy, dumb looking. Honestly, my favorite Batmobile is from Batman the Animated Series. That's very sleek. It's very Art Deco. Very simple looking.
Not the Batmobile from the TV show.
There's
a charm.
There's a charm to that, like the campy charm of the 1967 Batman television show.
Yeah.
But
there's an accessibility. You could have that car. People do. People have that car. You can't have the Batmobile from Batman Forever.
It was a whole court case recently
about.
So there's a dude who does makes custom Batmobiles, like officially licensed, and can make. So he makes them and he does them one at a time, and does like a custom Batmobile from the 1960s show.
Okay.
And there was a dude who put down a deposit. And he says, "I want a Batmobile," and he's like, "Okay, all right, you are now officially in line for a Batmobile." And then.
Do we know the deposit amount?
I know, maybe $10,000 or something, or $30,000. I think total. I think it's like $60,000 or something like that.
Well, you're not putting half down a deposit.
No. So and then
but still 10,000 is crazy.
And and the guy never paid another cent, right? Didn't pay any money extra at all. And so when it got to his time for the 87th Batmobile or whatever it was. The guy hadn't paid, so he's like, all right, I'm giving this one to the next guy in line.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, as soon as you start paying, then you'll get your Batmobile. And he was friends with a cop, like, in California.
So was it set up that you have to pay the deposit and then there's like a payment plan?
Yeah, you're supposed to have it paid in full.
By the time
the car's done.
Okay.
Right?
I guess that makes sense because you're doing work. You're doing the work. The deposit's one thing, but then I've done all the work.
Yeah.
And now, here's time. It's like, oh, I don't have that money.
Yeah. And so he didn't pay. And so the dude who wanted to buy the Batmobile, he was friends with the cop and tried to sue him saying, hey, I didn't get my Batmobile. Right. And they're like, well, you didn't fulfill your side. So why the hell would you get a Batmobile? So he's like automatically thrown out. And also it was like he's tried to sue him in California court, and he should have sued him in Michigan court because that's where the builder was.
It's where all cars are made, are in Michigan.
All of them, especially Batmobiles. And
we all know this. So everyone knows this.
And then the guy so he was friends with the cop, so he's like, all right, I'm gonna get a warrant to get this car.
Real good shady police work.
It was literally 3 cops from California flew to Michigan.
A reverse Beverly Hills cop.
Right.
Okay.
Went and talked to the local cops and say, hey, we've got a warrant here for this Batmobile and all documentation about the purchase of it. And so, they're like, okay, they went in with their SWAT team, arrested the dude.
This is a gross.
It's so over the top, ridiculous knee-jerk reaction because
for all these guys wanting to ride in a Batmobile.
Right.
He promised me the first ride.
Right. So it's the whole case completely fell through. Everybody's like, why are you using taxpayer funds to fly to Michigan to try to get a like this Batmobile. This is fucking insane.
Yeah, the plot. I mean, at least in Beverly Hills Cop,
Right.
Axel Foley used his own money to fly, to Beverly Hills.
I'm on vacation.
He's on vacation,
I'm on vacation.
and they didn't say that at all in this scenario.
So yeah, I had a Batman Forever poster. I bought it when I went to the WB store at the Mall of America.
Wow.
And I bought a model of the Batmobile. And then it was like, Dave,
This is all before watching the actual movie?
Actually, yeah, all before I watched the fucking movie, by the way.
Oh, that's...
Because I'm like, I'm going to love the shit out of this fucking movie. I just know.
Have you, before or since, ever been that invested in a movie? Like, before seeing it?
I'm sure I have. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But
I got to ask real quick.
Yeah.
Are all of your vacations based off of possible theme park trips?
Yes. All of them. I mean, we did ride the roller coasters at the Mall of America, of course.
And bought a Batman Forever
And
poster.
I bought a Batman. It was like $5 on top of the Batmobile. So
That's, okay.
yeah, no.
That's
So
a thing.
I never watched. So I didn't watch.
Well, because I remember, like, as a child,
Yeah.
I got really, like, I was super stoked for Mighty Ducks DT.
Yeah.
That might have been the movie I was, like, the most, like,
You were
stoked for, ready to
invested.
go. I'm like, here it is. And, I didn't buy a poster or I didn't know about the Knuckle Puck because I hadn't seen the movie, Whatever,
Sure.
the memorabilia I wasn't able to buy
Yeah.
because it wasn't there yet. But I do remember being very hyped for that movie. And then finally getting it, in VHS. Bought it, didn't rent it. I was like, I'm going to buy
bought
this.
it?
Yeah, bought it day of. And then, watching it. And I remember being very anticipating, like I need this thing.
This is gonna be the best.
Yeah. And thankfully for me, it did play out.
it hit a
But
lot
for
of
you, when did you see it?
Yeah, I didn't watch it in the theaters. And then it was like, it came out on VHS and it was like, okay, hey, can we rent this? And they're like, no. My parents were like, no, not today. Let's not get that one today. Turns out
Oh, they like withheld it from
they
you?
withheld it because they bought it. They bought it for me for Christmas.
Okay. All right.
And-
Do you remember like when it was released? I mean, this is a shitty
yeah,
Jamie
this
question.
is a shitty Jamie question.
Because if it was like, it took 6 months for the, for Christmas to come around. It was like,
Yeah.
nah, we're not going to do it. No.
it did feel like extra long. So
95 is when.
90,
but-
well, when was the VHS release?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess 96.
Yeah. Well, I don't even remember when the movie came out. What time of the? I'm sure it was the summer blockbuster.
It was,
probably.
yeah, I'm sure.
So eventually I got it for Christmas. And of course I couldn't watch it Christmas Day because it's Christmas. But eventually I'm like, all right, finally. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Sit down
December
and watch
26th.
it. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right. Oh no. Oh no, no. Oh no. Like, so like the opening scene in Batman Forever is that Two-Face, played by the fantastic Tommy Lee Jones, is robbing the second bank of Gotham on the second anniversary of his scarring or some horseshit like that. And somehow, like, so Batman goes in
Riddle me this.
and he stops the day. Unfortunately, he gets locked into a bank vault with a security guard, and out of nowhere, acid starts spraying out of the safe deposit boxes into and filling up the bank vault with acid. And there's a point where like the security guard goes, "Oh no, it's acid!" And I'm like, "Oh, sweet Jesus, that's not good." And then Batman, the security guard, had a hearing aid, and he pulled it out to listen to like try to crack the safe. But when he pulled the ear thing out of his ear, it literally made a sound as he pulled it out. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Oh no. Oh no. And like during the scene, like excitement, he beat up some bad guys and he turned around a corner and he flipped his cape and there was a big horn flare like, I'm like, oh sweet Jesus. Oh God. Why? No, this is not the movie I wanted. Not to say that, like, I did think that Batman Returns and the Batman, or not the Batman, but Batman, they were dark. Well, they were dark films.
They were dark, but they had a campy, cartoonish aspect to them.
Right.
And that's where, like, I think Batman Forever is a peak '90s movie. Because I mean, it's
very bright colors.
It's very bright colors, but that was the '90s.
That's the '90s, man.
So that was kind of, they're playing along, and they just want to heighten it a little bit.
Sure.
They just want to make it the next level of what they're going for, and then also with Jim Carrey as the Riddler, there's cartoonish elements, and he's perfectly cast.
That's
and
fine.
and he did a great job. I do love the stories of Tommy Lee Jones. Like, cannot stand
You have
Jim Carrey.
fucking interest.
I call him Jimmy Carrey.
You go, Jimmy Carrey?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jimmy Carrey here at the house.
Yeah.
Outside of the house, I don't.
Yeah, no, and that's
He's
just
James.
between you and your God.
Yeah. Well, and Jim.
And Jim.
Jimmy when he's here. but-
Jimmy's when he's here.
Yeah.
No, it's so. I mean, it's over the
Well,
over the top.
It makes me wonder, like, Tommy Lee Jones, and of course, it was going to make you a bunch of money.
Sure.
But he doesn't need to take that role. Like, it seems like something like he should realize as an actor, being like, oh, this is off-brand for me. You know, I don't like. He's pissed off at Jim Carrey because Jim Carrey's being Jim Carrey as the Riddler, which is perfectly cast.
Yes.
But why is Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face? This is what doesn't make sense.
See,
you know?
I thought like I really enjoyed. I like Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
His performance is great and it's fine. And
His
it's
costume, I don't love.
But this is the thing though for Tommy Lee Jones. My point is that Tommy Lee Jones getting mad at Jim Carrey for being Jim Carrey. It's really Tommy Lee Jones's fault for taking the role that he doesn't need to take.
He does not need it.
Just go do No Country for Old Men.
I don't know. Like, hey, what did he do before? Where was he at? I mean, there was the not True Lies, Under Siege. He was the bad guy in Under Siege.
Under Siege. There was the Jeff Bridges movie that he did with the bombing, like they were bombers.
Oh, that was called Blown Away. That's a real piece of shit.
Oh no.
I have watched that in the past calendar year. It is a piece of shit.
It's fine. It's 90s fine.
Listen,
It's
both
90s fine.
Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones doing bad Irish accents for 2 hours sucks.
It was fine.
It's
Natural Born Killers.
Oh, really?
Cobb.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right after that, he did Volcano. So he had a real hot streak for 2 movies there.
Volcano
and a hot streak, dude.
And then Men in Black right after that. So he was full on.
I mean, he was going hard in the paint. But
Making money.
but right before he was doing Cobb, which was a biopic about Roy Cobb,
Ty Cobb,
and Natural Born
Roy Cobb. Why is every baseball player, no matter what, and this is just for the audience here, every baseball player to Nathan, his first name is Roy for some reason.
Hey, listen, can you think of a single baseball player with the name Roy? By the way,
Roy Halladay. He was a pitcher.
Okay,
and that's the only one.
You got one.
There was maybe Roy Joyce, and maybe, but
yeah.
But every baseball player's first name is Roy. To Nathan.
Yeah, a lot.
Including Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb. I can't remember Ty Cobb. He was a real piece of shit.
Famous piece of shit.
He was a real piece of shit.
He hit a baseball.
I mean, he was in
Women.
Coal Miner's Daughter and Under Siege.
So Men in Black into U.S. Marshals. So he had a real hot 4.
Yeah, let's not to bury the lead on The Fugitive. The Fugitive.
That was 94.
That was before a lot of.
Yeah,
these
that was
movies.
94, 93.
It wasn't like, oh, if I do this, my career will turn around. This wasn't Mickey Rourke and The Wrestler.
No.
Like, why am I doing? Well, I'm only doing this for the paycheck.
Yeah.
And then when you're there and you're doing it and you're like, oh, I'm pissed off at this guy. It's like, well, yeah, because you're here because you're only here for the money.
Right.
Right. Of course, you're gonna be professional and shit like that. But it's one of those things where you put yourself in the situation.
Yeah,
you should know.
Love to know why he did that job.
Yeah.
Seems like he does a lot of one for me, one for everyone else.
Yeah.
He went from JFK to Under Siege. So
in JFK though, he also he played.
He was a flamboyant character.
Flamboyant.
See, and also in Under Siege as well. Like when he was the bad guy in Under Siege, like there were certain times where he was menacing, but also when he was doing his rock and roll persona or that he was supposed to be doing, he did have a lot of fun with it as well. So I'm just saying. I
feel like he's a different. I don't know. I've never met Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, you haven't?
No, but I'll tell you if I ever did. But when Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell they gave out, I think it was the Golden Globes, and they were doing their shtick.
Oh yeah.
About they were talking about all the movies and with having watched them, quote unquote, and everything like that. And everyone's laughing their ass off because it's fucking hilarious.
It's funny.
It's really great. And then Tommy Lee Jones just with apparently no sense of humor whatsoever or no time of day for it.
Right.
Just stone faced, looking like, oh my God, why am I here? It's like, I don't know why. You don't need to be here.
Right.
At no point does Tommy Lee Jones need to be at an award show.
Right. I mean, what was the bullshit
Or is it an act? Does he have a really good sense of humor?
Yeah.
And he's just being stone faced.
He's being on brand.
And I don't know.
He's being on brand. What's the bullshit where he's a Texas Ranger and he has to escort around a security or no, he has to escort a cheerleading squad.
Bringing it home.
Yeah.
Bringing down the house.
Bringing
down the house. God.
I was so close.
Wait, no, man of the house.
Man of the house. Ooh, even worse.
Again, does he have like this subversive sense of humor where he is actually hilarious?
He's really fun.
And this is like Andy Kaufman level, just trolling people in real time in every different way possible. I don't know.
Yeah. So speaking of Tommy Lee Jones, I was in Japan. We talked about this.
Oh, you get you were right.
Yeah.
I haven't asked you.
Yeah.
That's right. I totally forgot you went to Japan.
I totally forgot you were in Japan. So I was in Japan.
Cole and I had been not asking you about the trip because
I get it.
It's a funny joke.
It's a joke. It's so funny.
It is.
So there's a brand of coffee called Boss Coffee, and apparently for like decades, Tommy Lee Jones has been the spokesperson.
Really?
It's
what?
It's it's ridiculous. Like
so he is trolling people.
I think so. Like I don't like. I mean, and some of these commercials are crazy. Like he's in feudal Japan and like slowly making his way from like a servant to a samurai. Like
What?
as like a three part commercial acts. Like and like. Yeah, there's one where he's an alien. There's one where he's like a weirdo school teacher. Like it's so
okay. I'm going to reverse my course on Tommy Lee Jones. I think
it's fucking weird.
I think he does have a sense of humor, and he's just.
I think he's kind of a whore.
Is that it?
I mean, that could be that too. It could be that.
Like he's basically Liam Neeson and hasn't gotten caught up yet.
I mean, I'm kind of half-ass watching the trailer for Man of the House right now, and man, it looks bad.
I'm surprised you haven't seen that movie.
I might have. I don't know.
Who's second build on that, by the way?
Christina Milian,
like from AM to PM?
the pop star.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you say pop star. She had one song from AM to PM, and it's a good song, but that's the only one she had.
Rick Perry's in the movie, if that
Still a
does
pop
anything
star.
for you.
Like the former governor of Texas?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Does he play himself?
Yes, he
I'd hope
does.
so.
God, that's the only way to do it.
Whatever-
I would say Cedric the Entertainer is the second lead. And
Do you guys find Cedric the Entertainer entertaining whatsoever?
Is Cedric the Entertainer entertaining? I don't know. It's I particularly I haven't watched The Neighborhood,
Okay.
and so I don't know. No, I don't find him particularly funny.
No, I've never found him funny.
No.
And then like one time it was,
It's what's his face or nothing. I can't remember. Bernie Mac or nothing.
of all the kings in comedy,
you know.
you're not a Steve Harvey guy.
I mean, I love Steve Harvey hosting the Family Feud. That's
he's
great.
Great on the Feud.
Yeah, he's great on the Feud.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's that's. An
Did I
appropriate
watch
fit.
the Steve Harvey show as a child? Yeah.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was on, and I watched it because
It was on, and I watched it
And it was
because
there.
I mean, I
didn't
followed
want
Keenan and Kel like crazy, and they were on the show. So
yeah, that's how I
Oh.
learned that the East Coast West Coast battle, rap battle was squashed. Was the Steve Harvey show?
was it Tupac or Biggie made an appearance?
It was Tupac and no, it was
No, it was
Snoop Dogg and Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
It was after Biggie. And
They
Tupac
squashed
died.
Yeah, and
beef.
he was like,
On
the
the
only
Steve
way
Harvey
you're going
show?
to be on, and like, I think his name was Sean Harvey on the, no.
No,
Oh
it
my
was
God.
it was Steve something else.
Yeah. Because he was a music teacher. He was a music teacher in Chicago. He's like, the only way you're going to talk to my class is if you squash the beef. And so they squashed. That's how the East Coast West Coast rap battle ended. It was the Steve Harvey show.
I hate absolutely everything about this,
Well, that's, hey, I know you like
including the East West.
Steve
rap.
Steve Hightower. was
Steve
his-
Hightower. Yes.
Oh, that's that's a bad name.
Cedric was Cedric Jackie Robinson.
Jesus.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because I remember, when you're asking the question, that I found him funny. It's I do think in the Steve Harvey show, Cedric the Entertainer was the comedic, like
Yeah.
the funny guy, like
Yeah.
the thing that got all the jokes.
I was in college and they announced that in development that they were going to remake, not soft reboot,
Mm-hmm.
Back to School, the Rodney Dangerfield movie.
Yeah.
They were going to redo that with Cedric the Entertainer. And I'm like, this is, first, completely unnecessary.
Well-
And B, really? Cedric the Entertainer?
I
That's what
can
you're going
see
with?
that. I mean, I can see that. It goes into like all the other remakes. Like, do we really need to remake Point Break? Did we really fuck it up so much where we need to do it again? No, but we don't need to get down to that conversation.
I mean, honestly, I think you could remake Point Break and not call it Point Break.
They did. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, they remade Point Break.
they did.
Yeah, it was really, really bad.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about like, did Roadhouse really need to be? Did there need to be a remake of Roadhouse? No, not really.
See, I don't.
But
yeah.
again, like something like if like Back to School is not like this cherished entity of a movie where
I
you're
liked
like,
it.
oh, they got it right the first time. Like,
I liked it.
because here's the thing as well, like The Longest Yard being another example of
Unnecessary
remake for sure.
There's
but
a
it's
lot of
also
those.
like it's not this cherished movie either that like, oh, I can't believe that they've remade this movie. It's
Right,
you can make one of those movies for because the thing too with like these Godzilla King Kong movies coming out, it's like why are these movies happening? Like who's going to see these things? Do we not get enough of this? They're fine. They're one thing.
Yeah, I don't like the new one. Looks like complete garbage. And not to say that I watched like the previous one from 5 years ago or whatever the fuck it was. I didn't watch that one.
But these are like, you know, going back to like the cherished movie of it all.
Yeah.
Like Back to School is like, oh, that's fine. Like
Yeah.
if you want to give it another go with
Yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer, cool. And I don't necessarily agree with it, but also not like, oh my God, why are they doing this? But like Point Break, I'm like, you got it right the first time. There's nothing wrong with Point Break.
It's fine. Point Break's fine. It's not.
What's wrong with Point Break?
I know you love Point Break.
What's wrong with Point Break?
There's nothing quote unquote wrong with outside of
Is there anything that they could have done within Point Break to make it better?
this is gonna hurt you. Okay. Not use Keanu, and like Keanu's like his performance
Spot on.
is
Johnny Utah.
I don't know what you're talking about
is
right now.
very
You're
like
wrong.
is very early Keanu.
I thought you were going to say Nick Nolte for Gary Busey.
No, it's very early Keanu and not great.
Wow.
Also, the name Johnny Utah and his like all of his like story arc is
It's awesome.
not. I was gonna be a pro football player, and then I blew my knee, and now I'm like a cop, and I'm gonna go undercover.
Yeah, he's an FBI agent. It's very implicit. He's an FBI.
He's an
agent.
FBI agent who's gonna go undercover as quote unquote himself.
As a surfer.
I'm gonna be a surfer, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, aren't you like Johnny Utah?" Like,
But are you talking about like rewriting the whole movie? Because like there's nothing in
Yes.
that what you're describing that's
Yes.
outside of just making
Yes.
the whole movie different.
you're telling me that without Johnny Utah's very important backstory of being a failed
Well, how else is Patrick Swayze supposed to know who he is when they're playing sand football?
Well-
okay, he recognized him.
Yeah.
and that's how he knew. Okay,
Are you sure he couldn't just work his way in some other way? I don't know.
No,
It's
there's really I've tried to rewrite Point Break for a lot of years.
a lot of years.
There's
also,
no way to do it.
Johnny Utah is like
It's the
it's a real throwing darts at a like map and saying, okay, Johnny what? I mean, it's bad. It's not good.
I love the name Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah's awesome.
Can you
Matt,
think of
you're
a
like,
single person named with the last name Utah?
no, but
No.
if I ever have a child, I'll name him Johnny,
Johnny Utah.
Yeah, just
Utah is a middle name.
yeah.
You're
Johnny
not a
Utah.
first name guy. Oh.
Well, it's funny you ask because like the one accepted name between my wife and I for a
Is
boy
Utah?
is Swayze Keanu Tram.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine. That's a good bit.
Utah is a last name.
It
actually.
is it now?
well, of course it
Yes.
has to be. Yeah,
That was.
I mean California, Robert California. It's a fictional character.
But that's a fictional character.
so is Johnny Utah.
So is Johnny Utah.
I'm sure California is
But it's supposed
an
to be
actual
grounded
last
in
name.
reality.
I just like that you love the Replacements, but don't like Point Break.
Point Break, like to my point is like there's nothing that you could do outside of rewriting the entire movie and making it complete.
No.
Like there's a world where Point Break is essentially Heat, and just Heat is a better version of Point Break. Wrap your head around that.
No, like the idea of people who are just robbing banks to, support their surfing addiction. I don't
That's a basic premise.
mind that. That's fine. That's a fun idea. The idea of being, a loaf who all I want to do is just surf. And how can I do this? And also was like based on a true story as well. So there's
Point Break,
Yes.
based on a true story.
Well, the whole like, the bank robbers side of it was all based on. There was no FBI agent who was a failed college athlete.
I'm an FBI agent.
It's so.
God, I love that.
it's so
good.
like
So good.
it's Keanu being Keanu, and that's fine. But
I think I think you're missing my point of like there's nothing that you could do to that movie to make the story of Point Break better by remaking it.
No,
it's only if we cast it differently this movie plays different.
Sure.
You're talking about rewriting the damn thing.
Right.
Which is what you could do for Heat.
You could remake Point Break and not call it Point Break. And I'm sure there'll be people say, "Oh, there's a lot of parallels between this movie and Point Break,"
and that's fine.
And they'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yeah, because I agree with that. Like you can make that movie again, just do some subtle twists. There's no reason to remake it.
Well,
to me, it's a cherished movie because it's a perfect little
remake a lot of movies, but.
Well, and that's the problem with the industry. Anyway, so your Japan trip.
Yeah. So I went to Japan. It was lovely. It was a whole thing.
I went to New York.
You went to New York, and we had a list of things that we were supposed to do, which I
did you do them?
Promptly forgot most of it.
Cool.
So
we stayed in touch, but you didn't ask at all.
No.
Why?
Why
would you?
It's like it's fine.
So did you? Well, got it.
Okay. All right.
Did you eat horse?
I did not eat horse, which was a real fucking problem. It's
hold on. No.
Yeah, I know.
You get this. Wait for it.
Boo.
Boo. The last boo you get.
No. I mean, I ate a lot of stuff, a lot of squid, but at no point was horse on the menu, and that's kind of sad. It really is. ...
Of course. ...
Of course. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. No. It's like.
Okay. That
I mean, like I said, I ate a lot of squid. I ate some sea urchin. I eat like
sea urchin.
Weird baby fish wrapped in nori. Like.
Tell me about the sea urchin.
It was fine. So it's like almost kind of a tapioca colored.
Okay.
And it's kind of it's blended up and. Kind of a small like paste squeezed on top of a piece of sushi, and I was like, oh, it's a much more subtle flavor than I was expecting. I mean, because the color is like pretty bright. I'm like, oh, this should be like, eating like mango candy or something. That's I mean, that's the color. Almost.
Did it have an umami flavor to it?
Yeah,
or what?
yeah. It was fine. I love the fuck out of flounder. Flounders was really good.
Okay.
I ate that. That was pretty solid. And like I said, a lot of squid. Had some octopus, some like raw octopus. That was including like the suckers. Like that was like eating like a good piece of fat off of like a steak.
Yeah, I mean,
like that like chewy consistency.
Octopus is really good. The amount of people that are like, I won't eat octopus now, and maybe I have to watch the documentary.
Yeah,
but they're like, I watched the documentary.
Teacher, the octopus or whatever it is.
Yeah, and they're like, I can't eat octopus anymore, and it's like I don't know how much octopus they were eating beforehand, but they're just equating that they're a smart animal, and it's really hard. And I get it. Like we talked about,
pigs are pretty smart too, guys.
Pigs are pretty smart. I can kill a pig though. If
push comes to shove.
If push comes to shove, I think a cow can't do it. They're dumb as shit
because of like their big baby, their doughy eyes.
They're big dogs. Like
they are big dogs, but big dogs that are socially acceptable to eat.
Yeah, I enjoy eating them, but if I had to rely on myself killing a cow, I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I had some like really good beef, like Kobe beef. But there's like another type called Omi beef, and that was kind of the area that we're from.
Was that even raw or?
No, I mean we cooked it on a hot plate.
Okay.
But I mean just like the marbling is just like incredible. Like it was like literally like eating butter. It was so good.
Well,
it was like
I'm just disappointed for you.
Yeah.
Did you insist on it? Did you say anything at any point in time?
No, at no point. We're like,
hey, gotta get that horse. By the way.
Well, that's like me and my Western ideas of saying, hey, where's the horse at? Where can I get a horse at?
Well, that's what we were banking on.
I know. Well, no, you're banking on me
here.
Walking around being an asshole saying, please feed me raw horse.
Yes.
Now I tried writing that in Japanese.
Why did you change when you went to Japan?
Oh. No. So and also
we did a whole podcast on how
I'm gonna eat fucking horse. I want to eat a horse. No, and there wasn't a lot of like I said, it wasn't like a lot of options. Like I'm being escorted around quite a bit, so it's not like I've got I wasn't there on my I wasn't freely just kind of going willy-nilly wherever I wanted to go.
Gotcha.
I was getting escorted around.
Okay.
Because it's North Korea.
Well, I have some, and I'm going to give it to myself. I also did not eat goat curry.
You didn't find a goat curry.
So, and I'll let it play out. Hold on. This is the last boo. He's the one that matters the most.
No goat curry. Yeah. So tell me about New York.
Well, we were adventurous. We went to different places. Ate a lot of prawn.
A lot of prawns. That's what they call shrimp. And down under.
Down under. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different shrimp. It's not the same. It's not the same as a shrimp. It's very similar. I mean, you could pass up a prawn for a shrimp, but it's different slightly. I don't know why. But anyway, the place that we went to that had the goat curry, we got into a time crunch for getting to the show that we were going to, and we got horrible service. Absolutely horrible service. We got sat, and it proceeded to wait 15 minutes for anyone to come over to the table. And it was like we had about an hour. Like it was like 7 o'clock, and our show was at 8. And I'm like, we got an hour. We should be fine. Like we'll get this thing going. And
was it like a full sit? No, like a full
sit down. Yeah. And a lot of the time we were doing just delis, walk around food and everything like that. Like a lot of handheld stuff. And so we sit down, and it just we're like, are they going to come around at all? No one's going to come around at all. Okay. Nope. Oh, I'm trying to make aggressive eye contact here. Nope. Yeah. And by the time she got over, we're like, okay, we have everything. And now here it is. Here's the real thing. This is like, I can order the goat curry.
Yeah.
All right. I have no idea how long the goat curry is going to take, to throw around. And also, I got to go to this fucking show. I don't know how my stomach is going to.
I mean, it's like, how many other curries are you eating?
Well, me and, any kind of ramen.
In your
dish,
weak stomach. You got the weak stomach.
My ramen, I only eat that at home. All right.
That's a home food.
So I was banking on, having some leeway because we were close to the hotel. I was like, okay, I can do the goat curry. And if
it becomes a problem,
I'm going to have some leeway. Yeah. But this whole 15-minute thing, this bitch really fucked up our night in the goat curry. I'm blaming her, but also we just didn't have time to do it. So I didn't do it. But we did go to a deli.
Yeah.
Okay. And we tried. Like I said, we had a lot of prawn. It had a nice prawn hot sauce. Okay. At an Asian restaurant called
like cocktail sauce.
Joy. No. So it was called Joy Love Club. All right. This is in the West Side.
Joy Love Club.
That
sounds like the porno version of the Joy Luck Club, by the way.
A little bit. Also horrible service, but we had the night free. We didn't have a show to get to. So, but had the prawn hot sauce, which is an entire dish of basically kimchi, prawn, and like a very, very interesting flavored hot sauce.
Okay.
That is a broth hot sauce, basically.
Oh.
And it sat on your tongue in a way where it wasn't aggressive, but it stuck with you.
Sure.
It was just one of those things, like it was a bite. It was like, good spice. Absolutely. Love it. And then it just wouldn't go away.
Just kept going.
And it wouldn't, but it wasn't escalating. It was just there, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that. Absolutely. This is great. And so that was really surprising.
That's good.
Like, that was just a nice, surprising bite. But we did go to a deli. We went to a lot of delis.
A lot of delis. Okay.
Yeah. And again, another situation where...
How much pastrami are we talking here?
Well, it's like the story. All right. Pastrami's right around the corner.
A Tony Soprano level of...
Yeah.
This was the most Tony Soprano deli that we went to, because we got back from the Bronx Zoo. We went to the Bronx, which is terrifying.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's just every crazy person.
Did you guys see a dude walking around with a baseball bat?
He could have been there.
Derek Jeter?
Wow.
Derek Jeter doesn't walk around. I mean, he might, but I don't think
was he in a wheelchair
now? I don't think so.
Okay.
I told you the last time that we went to the Bronx, we were going to the Bronx Zoo. We got off on the wrong subway spot, and it became this whole thing where I'm like, I got a little PTSD. I don't want to do this. So let's Uber there.
You Ubered to the Bronx Zoo.
Yeah, we Ubered to the Bronx Zoo.
How bougie of you.
I know. It's totally not New Yorker of us to do, but we did that. And so we now we're like, oh, we'll get the subway back.
Yeah.
And we'll do this. And then I'm like, I'm just getting leery. I'm like, I don't know. We got to buy the metro ticket and everything. I'm like, let's just get the Uber back. We'll get the Uber back to the Upper West Side, and we'll go to this bar and everything, and we'll get the subway from there. We'll go do that. And as we were driving in the Uber back from the Bronx Zoo, I was so happy we made that choice.
Okay.
Because again, along the lines of the dude walking around with a baseball bat, like they saw a dude just pissing in the side of the sidewalk, like holding on to the fence, and then immediately
Was it a chain link fence?
Chain link fence. Saw his
That's
dick.
dangerous, by the way.
Saw his dick. Nice dick.
Oh, yeah. Good old hog.
A nice hog. Yeah.
Okay.
So he shook it off, and then he zipped up, and I'm like, oh my god, that was a lot. And then he immediately goes to the trash can.
Was this at a stoplight?
We were just in traffic. We were just like in stage,
just creeping.
But we were in a car, not walking to the subway stop, which was what we would have to have done.
You would have had walked right past this guy.
Yeah, exactly. And I would immediately. But then he goes to the trash can, and he takes out a half-eaten ramen bowl, and just proceeds to start eating it. And I'm like, we made the right choice
with his hands.
Yeah.
He's going for the noodles.
Your stomach would not have agreed with that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Garbage ramen? Do you think
garbage ramen it's a delicacy and it's best eaten after pissing on a chain link fence.
I think we got a show title.
I mean, honestly, I think Anthony Bourdain said that same thing. Go find yourself. If you find first, you got to find the garbage ramen, and then you got to piss on a fence, and then you go back.
Oh, you had to find it first, and
well,
then
you got to find the garbage. You can't just piss on a fence and hope that there's garbage ramen.
Oh,
just waiting for you. You got to find the garbage ramen first.
Yeah,
and then it's a whole it's part of the experience.
I did miss that episode of No Reservations. But this dude was living his best life.
You think he was? Though?
No. He was. It's very sad. no, it's not good. Anyway, so long story short, we ended up getting back to the Upper West Side. And we were walking to this deli. We wanted some food because I saw the guy eating ramen. I'm like, I'm hungry too. So
that reminds me.
I
kind of want some ramen now.
I kind of want.
And that guy eating out of the garbage reminded me. I also need sustenance.
I need sustenance too. So we went to the most New York deli that we went to, and the guy was. We can assimilate. Like I think he thought we were from New York until I asked a dumb question about, hey, what's this dessert? Like they had like a jar full of like little pastry desserts and everything like that, and he's like, "Oh, you must not be from New York," and I'm like, no, we're not."
Was it New York cheesecake in a weird package?
It was some kind of like baklava style wrapped thing, and I'm like, he never answered the question, by the way, either of what the dessert was.
Fuck that guy.
But he kept busting my balls, and it was fine. He was like, "Oh, so where are you guys from?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're from the Midwest and Iowa." And so he's like, "What are you guys doing here?" I'm like, "We're on vacation." And he's like, "Well, what do you guys how'd you guys end up here?" I'm like, "Oh my god, this is a never-ending choose your own adventure."
So
we were at the Bronx Zoo and we just came back, and he was like, "Well, how'd you end up here?" He just kept asking that fucking question.
How did you end up here? Was he hoping for I saw a really good Yelp review?
Yeah,
is that what he was asking for? He's doing market research.
Yeah.
How do Midwesterns end up in my deli? And he's got check boxes that he's got to fill out, or what?
Well, and that's where I was like, well, I can't tell this fucking New Yorker dude that we took a fucking Uber from the Bronx Zoo
because those motherfuckers do not.
So I had to fish around that and be like, no, well, we just we got back here, blah blah blah. But they had tongue on the menu.
Oh yeah, tongue's good. Tongue is good.
And I've had tongue before on a taco.
Yeah,
and I was
like beef tongue on taco is very good. Yeah,
right. And so, but I also was in a situation where I'm like, okay, we got to walk, 10 blocks.
And you don't want a belly full of tongue.
Well, I was hungry. I was hungry. I was like, if it doesn't sit right, now all of a sudden here I am in this situation.
Yeah, I don't think tongue's gonna upset your tum-tum, but that might just be me.
It might be. It might be. But anyway, so we got the pastrami, on rye.
On rye,
and it was good.
Yeah.
But I did find in that trip though.
Yes.
Because the next question was the cheapest drink that you found. So.
Here's the thing. I was treated like royalty for a big part of this trip. That's
exactly what Cole and I feared the entire time.
The problem was like I said, so I was visiting my son. We were doing it through like a club that was sponsoring him. Mm-hmm. So it was like the club that was there. They were very much about, hey, what do you want to do? Let's go do this. So as far as paying for things, also Japan's really cheap right now. Just really historically, it's
that reminds me.
It's very cheap right now. So I would say probably there was and I wish this would come to America so bad.
Japanese people?
Yes, like all of them.
Okay.
Please come to America. We love you. Yeah. No, there was
Oppenheimer is not a good calling card.
There's a beer vending machine in the lobby of the hotel we stayed out in Omihachima. That's the town that my son stays in, and that's the best. It's the best thing in the world. Just being able to like, okay, I don't have to run to the store and like have like a 6-pack because like, hey, you can only want like just one more beer, just that one more beer. It's like, oh no, this is perfect. I can put literally like 300 yen. That's like about $2 and get a tall boy of a beer. Or there was like a weird like 7% ABV. It wasn't a seltzer, but I mean it was seltzer-esque, you could say. Well, that was like $2.50. So that's like $1.80 ish somewhere in there for.
Gotcha.
So that's probably about the cheapest.
I think a beer vending machine would work really well.
And I didn't see like a lot of them. Also in that same lobby, there was a cigarette vending machine as well.
Here's a question. Yes. How did they monitor? Like
they didn't. Like I think with the cigarette one, there was like would have to show like an ID and like have it scanned or something. I think. I don't know because I get this. Didn't buy cigarettes from the cigarette vending machine.
But the beer one you didn't have to do.
Didn't have to do shit. Nothing.
That'd be the biggest workaround.
Because it's like it's a highly, as my son kept saying, like when you leave like shit just like unlocked or like he's like, I just leave my bike here. It's fine. I don't need to do anything. It's like, really? He's like, it's one of the highest trusting societies. Like they don't really
We
steal.
went to 2 different trusting societies.
Very much. Yeah. They're very on the opposite ends of this.
There's an odd trust in New York. It's an odd trust understanding.
Yeah.
Because to that point, like my wife, when we were at the Joy Love Club, again, this episode.
Once again, the Joy Luck Club porno version.
She got an entree, and it was too much, but we were going out afterwards, so she got it to go, and we're like, our friend was like, well, if you find somebody on the side of the street and a homeless person, like unhoused, you can excuse the hell out of me. They're really offended. You can give it to them. And then immediately as we turned to the corner and was like, this isn't, no, not doing this. This is like 9:00 at night, like I'm not going to walk up to a homeless person at 9:00 at night. No. And we'll just leave it on. We'll leave it on the top of the garbage can because there's like the outer ring.
Yeah.
There's a little surface spot. So
that's better than garbage ramen.
It's better than garbage ramen. It's there, so we put it on
levitating. It's above. That's a Seinfeld.
And then
I didn't eat garbage. It was like in the garbage.
We thought about that exactly. So
did you bring up that reference?
I didn't bring up the reference, but I thought about it. It was different. It's not in the garbage. It's on top of the garbage.
It's on top of the garbage. It's fine.
We went to a bar for a couple hours, and we walk out, and I'm fully expecting this thing to be gone.
Yeah,
it's still there.
It's still there.
I'm like, you can't leave a bike in the city like this, but you can leave. Like we could have taken the ramen and gone. Anyway.
Jeez, no, that's ridiculous. So that's probably about the cheapest. Is like, okay. And so, but also because they're so trusting, the kids don't break the law, I guess. So
lucky,
right? It's like, well, why would? Also, I didn't see like a lot of those. There's vending machines all over the place. I drank like hot coffee. There's something about getting a hot drink out of a vending machine is like it's very odd.
Ever since Terminator 2, I'll never do it.
No, because it's not like a cup. It's like a can, like a can of coffee drops down and you pick it up and it's hot to the touch. It's like this. It's very odd. It's very weird. Also, you can get
weird.
hot corn soup in a can
in
a vending machine as well. So just put that in your.
Well, you can't drink hot corn soup.
I don't know, and I did buy a can of it. I didn't eat it. I haven't eaten it yet. I brought it home with me.
Oh, you brought it through customs?
Oh yeah.
They're like, what's this?
No, they
are you going to reheat the can? Or
I don't know. Like I know. I'm like,
what's the cooking?
What am I going to cook this? I'm like, maybe
if
I like, that's kind of what I'm thinking. If I put it in a pan of boiling water, heat the can up, and hopefully it won't explode in my fucking face and get corn soup scalding my face. Hopefully that's not.
I think you take the can out of the cooking it.
You could just reheat the liquid.
No, I want to be able to have the experience of eating the hot corn soup out of the can. It's
going to be a lot of this, Bobby.
It's going to be it. Oh, please don't do that.
Oh no, but it's hot corn soup.
Ooh, that's hot.
Ew,
oh,
gross.
Oh, that's hot.
Okay. All right. Well,
hot corn soup.
I'm going to do a hard segue because.
What else is on this list that
because I found
promptly forgot?
Yeah, you promptly forgot. Thank you very much for doing that. So I had a whole search.
Man, that soup's hot. Oh, God. Ow.
Guys, not everyone's into ASMR, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So the cheapest drink.
Cheapest drink. So yeah, probably like I said, it was like a seltzer-esque thing. 7% ABV.
$1.70.
Yeah, $1.70, $1.80, somewhere in there. I'd have to
tremendous
pull
value.
Especially like it's cold. It's in the fucking lobby of your hotel, just waiting for you at any moment. Literally, all I have to do is just put in change. It's great.
So you won because drinks in New York are fucking
weird,
expensive.
Weird.
So the place where they had goat curry that we didn't get, also had Miller High Life on tap.
Oh,
and I'm like, all right, Miller High Life on tap. Let's go.
How much can it cost, Michael?
$10. Yeah, exactly. It was a frozen blue banana. No, fucking $10.
$10 for a fucking draft
of Miller High Life.
That's insane. That's like,
and I'm like, you motherfuckers.
That's so crazy. That is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, it's very insane. It's very insane. And so what we had to do is we went on a dive bar tour. We went on a happy hour like dive bar tour because dive bars are going to already be cheaper, but then the dive bars that offer happy hour were
hopefully you'll
really
find
the creme de la creme.
The creme de la creme.
So I wrote them down.
Okay.
Because I remembered the list, and at any point in time you could have texted and said, "Hey, can you send that thing?"
I was busy that day.
Okay. So if you're going to New York, Pub Key, which is on the west side.
Is that 2 words?
It's 1 word.
Pub Key.
Pub Key. The pub, P-U-P.
What accent am I supposed to be using?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
I feel like it's Indian. I'm not going to do it because I feel like that might be over the
Oh, you're afraid to get canceled?
Yeah. Cole, you want to use an Indian accent and say pub key?
No, thank you.
Okay, there it is.
Right.
Got it.
All right.
But use your imagination.
They had a Wagyu chili dog for I think like $7, 7 maybe $8 or something like that. Delicious.
I mean,
great.
Listen, a high quality beef hot dog that's going to run you a little bit. You had a Chicago dog today.
I did.
How much of that? How much?
$6.
$6. So we're not off.
We're not off far. Not off far.
No.
$4 Tecate.
Tecate, huh?
Yeah. So they went with the Mexican lager. We found out quickly that the Tecate is the way to go.
Cheap.
So, cheap for whatever reason. I don't know why.
For some reason,
Tecate in New York is
$4.
Is the cheap beer.
Okay.
Okay. So that was the first place. We went to the Four-Faced Liar.
Okay.
Where they had $4.25 Tecates.
Okay.
And that was all day long. That wasn't just happy hour. This at the Pub Key, that was happy hour prices. Okay.
$4 for a Tecate at happy hour.
Right. $4.25 all the time at Four-Faced Liar.
That's, I mean, okay.
Okay. So then we went to the High Life, the Tile Bar. Got a $4 High Life.
Okay.
Much
Reasonable.
nicer. Much more reasonable. Loved it. It was great. And the Tile Bar.
That's a New York price for a High Life.
Yeah. And I'll accept that. That's perfectly fine. I'll do that all day long.
That's a reasonable markup.
Yep.
Because what are we paying here in town? $3?
$3.
It's fine.
Perfectly fine. The Harry Lemon Pub had a $4 Tecate.
Don't like that.
You don't like the Harry Lemon Pub?
Yeah, that's a...
The Harry Lemon Pub was run by, I believe they were Austrian. They were very cold. Like, they were very...
Ice cold.
Like...
Tecate.
No. The people.
Oh, the people were cold.
I mean, the Tecate were cold too, but like the people were very just like, we are running this place. No. Yeah, like maybe, And
how many people were in the bar?
When we got there was 4, maybe 5 people.
Okay.
And we, like, including us. And then there was 4 people working as well. So, but all of them were like
personal attendants, huh? All right.
Not really. No, not really.
Tell me about the service.
The service wasn't fantastic, but it was. But $4 Tecate, I'm like, I can handle shitty service for $4 Tecate, So,
sure,
but
sure.
the winner,
you got a winner.
This is coming back from the Bronx Zoo. We went to the Broadway Dive Bar.
Okay. Did they also question what the fuck you doing there?
No, they didn't. They didn't question us at all.
Okay.
It was very much a $3 High Life happy hour.
Here in town prices.
Here in town prices.
In old New York.
Yep. Upper West Side I would, probably around
Oh, wow.
the 96th block, something like that.
Oh, look at you knowing numbers and maps. Huh.
Well, avenues run north and south, and streets run east and west.
Oh, wow.
That's the whole thing. Cole, did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah.
I'm not good at navigating New York at all, having been there once. So
I enjoy learning how to navigate cities, especially New York, because it's like a puzzle. It's like a really fun puzzle.
and like yeah.
I found number one place for cheap beer in New York, and it's Rudy's Bar and Grill in Hell's Kitchen.
And
they have
by
free,
Tribeca.
They have free hot dogs there.
Where? What year is that article from? That's the question, because I've been
Is
down
it
this.
pre-COVID?
Oh, Hell Kitchen burned down apparently. No, it's 2024.
The
2024?
entirety of Hell's Kitchen burned down.
Yes.
The entire neighborhood. Okay.
The entire. There was a smell. I did. Yeah, there was. Yeah.
You can smell the charcoal, this cinder.
Yeah, we were close to Hell's Kitchen, but yeah. So that information would have been helpful. Cole.
I got a list right here.
Well,
some of them are in the West Village too.
Yeah. Where we got?
So down the hatch.
We did. We went to Down the Hatch.
Oh, you
Yep.
went to Down the Hatch?
Yep. They had a half price menu the entire time.
And McSworley's. Old
We
Ale
did-
House.
Where's that at?
Yeah. Where?
That's in the East Village.
Oh, it's in the East Village. Okay. Because we went to an ale house, and I think it was McDougal's Ale House.
Okay. It was right across the street.
No, it was in the West Village. Anyway.
They're bitter rivals, McSworley's.
They have an annual knife fight.
Exactly, which is really fun to be at. Like, if you're at a knife fight in New York, you want it to be amongst ale houses.
Yeah,
that's the best way.
that's good. That's good to know. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I wonder what kind of street vendors they have though. Like, do they do corn dogs or
Everything's shish kebabs, actually.
Ooh.
So you get a pointy stick
You get a
afterwards.
pointy
You
stick.
can join the fray if you want.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna get that hurt because it's gonna break.
Yeah.
The
moisture.
stick's gonna break quicker than somebody's skin. It's fine.
Right. Yeah.
It's fine.
It's going to be more,
Yeah.
superficial than anything. But so that was the cheapest drink.
Okay. That's
Now
cheap
the next
drink.
question.
Okay. Yes.
Cheapest show. Did you see?
No, I did not see any. Listen, I did go to. Listen, there's not a lot of theater. Okay, for starters.
Show involved.
I know. So we did go to Universal Studios Japan.
What?
Of course you did.
Yes.
Of course you did.
No, because we enjoy Universal Studios. Okay. There's
What? Okay. All right.
yeah, it was like, oh, hey, we're gonna be in Osaka. That's home of Universal Studios Japan. Let's spend a day there because that's gonna be very different.
Pause. Time,
Yes.
Time out.
Okay.
Time out. Okay.
Yes.
Is there more than one Universal Studio in Japan?
No.
Okay.
No.
So then you don't need to say the home of. There's just
Well,
it
no,
is
in
the
Osaka-
only one.
In Osaka, that's
Mm-hmm.
where Osaka is the home of Universal Studios Japan.
Okay.
That's what I said. Okay.
I'm still wrapping my head around the fact
yeah.
that you
No,
went.
it's so like I said, we enjoy Universal Studios quite a bit. We went to Florida
We all know
a
that.
number of times. It's it's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, let's see this in a different perspective. And it was very cold and rainy, and it was kind of awful a little bit. But
How much was it to get into Universal Studios? Japan?
like the three of us, $200.
The three of you, $200.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, I did spend like another $400
What?
to like get a what's called express passes. It's their skip the line option
You spent $600 to
Yes.
go to Universal Studios for one day.
for one day, $200. No, and that's because
You're lucky this is a write off.
no, for me. So okay, so they have Nintendo World. That's like the first one they built was the one in Japan,
Okay.
and they
That
have
makes sense.
and it's so busy. It's been open for like 2 years now.
Uh-huh.
It's so busy, you have to have a ticket, like a timed entry to go in because they can't just have it open to everybody in the park because everybody in the park would be there and no one would be able to move. It's very tight quarters in there.
Okay.
It's all contained in in a very small area. So having the entirety of the park attendants in that one spot would literally people would die from just getting crushed. So because it's too small. It's too small for
And you don't want people dying at an amusement park. That's bad,
no.
right?
That's it's not Jurassic Park. No. So
So what time did you get there? Just to
like
understand.
8:30, 9,
And you stayed till when?
9 o'clock,
Okay.
9 o'clock, 10. I can't remember.
So about 12 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, so we wanted to go because there's Nintendo World. That's like, it's new and exciting. There's one in California at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's a Jaws ride.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there was one in Orlando, but they like closed it, and that's where they built another Wizarding World there. Also, there's a Waterworld stunt show.
What?
Yes, there's a Waterworld stunt show in California as well.
Now the price is a little more justified.
No, and
you buried the lead a little bit.
Yeah, it's lovely. Like it's
Nintendo World is not the lead in this situation.
It's Nintendo World. It's very nice. It's very immersive. It's very good.
Who played Kevin Costner?
Some white guy.
Nice.
Yeah, some white guy and some like blonde chick.
Did Waterworld do well in Japan? Like
I don't know. No, I see. It's like I said, there's the one in California, which is like the original.
Mm-hmm. But they just use the old set.
No.
No, you have to. Everyone knows you have to go about 30 miles.
So 30 miles over the horizon.
Over the horizon. Yeah. And then there's a special Universal Park in the middle of the Pacific.
So the one in California, the first Waterworld stunt show, originally that set was used for a Miami Vice stunt show.
Okay.
For like 4 years.
Sure.
For 4 years
there was a lot of water work on Miami.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we're in Florida and we're gonna drive up to this drug dealer's house and like try to bust them, and then all shit goes loose, right?
Wow.
And so then they completely rethemed it to Waterworld.
Well, you had a lot of the same set.
Yeah.
A lot of same costumes.
Yeah. There was. Hey, listen, in the outside queue area, I did see the last shot, Kevin Costner as the Mariner riding off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
That boat is just like hanging out in the queue, and you can just. So I'm like, oh.
Did you go on it?
No, you can't go on it. It's like
what the hell's it?
Well, you can't climb up on top of something that's like a decorative piece, like off to the side.
In America, we can.
No, you can't.
If I see something in America, I can walk.
No, I want to climb on top. And if I want to climb on top of it, I'm going to do that.
That's how I can't go back to the Pirates of the Caribbean show in Las Vegas. Because if I want to get on the pirate ship with Jack Sparrow,
I can do it.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I got pulled off. I'm an American.
It's described as a tidal wave of explosive action.
It's good. Like it's a fun stunt show. Like Deacon, like the bad guy, like he gets lit on fire and like falls like 50 feet off of a balcony. It's. I mean, there's zip lining and like. Jet skis and boats and flames, and it's a fun little show. Anyway, and that I did not understand because it was all in Japanese. Lucky for me, I'm very versed in
the
Waterworld
narrative of Waterworld. You can follow along.
Except for this takes place like at the end of Waterworld, like after Waterworld. It's so weird.
So they just find the island.
So after they come back to the atoll and be like, "Hey guys, we found dry land," and then the bad guy shows back up, and
not Dennis Hopper.
It's Dennis Hopper, but it's not Dennis Hopper.
I would love if it was a Japanese Dennis Hopper.
I mean, he's a Japanese guy. It's a Japanese guy.
Cool.
But anyhow,
I think there's a movie within that. Like, there's a movie within the guy playing Kevin Costner at the Waterworld. Universal Studios.
Yes.
And then that's just his life.
Right. I think that's
like how many times has he never watched the movie, so he wants to be fresh to the character?
Yeah.
Has he watched it a bunch, so he's like immersed in the character?
My son and I joked about it's like first day of orientation is like, okay, all right, you filled out your paperwork. Okay, sit down and you need to watch Waterworld right now. Oh, I've already watched it. Like, no, sit down and you're watching this right now. Also, like,
how long was the show?
Like 15 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, for
about right,
for a theme park show, you don't want to
be
be sitting there for half an hour watching something. That's just that's some people. They'll sit there, they get antsy.
So your cheapest show was $600.
Sure. I mean, I don't know if you want to call like the festival that I went to. I don't think that's necessarily a show. Went to a karaoke bar. I don't know if that counts.
Was there a cover?
No.
Okay.
No, but that was a weird experience.
No kabuki theater or anything?
No kabuki theater. No.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was no kabuki, no nothing. There was, so that was a weird experience. That was a very, so like everybody, Christine was my wife. She was talking about, how she's a school teacher, but also on the side, she does bartend a little bit as well. And they're like, oh, you're a bartender as well. Oh, okay.
Judge much?
And it's like, oh, jeez, yeah, fine. Well, fuck you too. And then we went to the karaoke.
To be
bar.
fair, that's exactly what I do too.
We went to the karaoke bar and like, okay, we sit down, and it's a very small club, like very small, like
private booth.
No private booth. I mean, it's like literally probably 10 seats at a bar, right?
Okay.
And then kind of a mirror of that, like couches.
Yeah.
So so very, very small. And the bartender like sat with us.
Okay.
And like a couple of them did. And where they're like, he's like the guy who was showing us around, a great guy named Taku. And he was just like, hey, you want another highball? Highball is like a really drink that they do. It's basically just whiskey and Sprite.
Okay.
That's what they call highball.
Sure.
And it's like, yeah, he's like, oh yeah, we'll get this nice bottle of whiskey, and he just sits on a table, and they'll just sit there, and when your drink's empty, they'll wipe it down, make you another drink in front of you, and give it back. I'm like, that's kind of like that touch service. That feels good. Except for all of them are like wearing short skirts and a little bit dive bar-y, like, there's not a lot of tread left on the tire-esque kind of look to them. They've been worn down a little bit.
For the waitresses?
Yeah, the waitresses. You could sell, okay. You've been worn down by life a little bit. You could just tell that. So after being in that experience,
I love that, by the way.
I know, it's like, hey, that's what I want. And
this goes back to the roaming, the nomadic people.
So like after being in that experience, so like my wife's like, yeah, I can see why they'd be concerned that I'm also a bartender as well. Because here's the deal. Taku also smokes cigarettes, and you could smoke inside as well. And so like, as soon as like he would pull out a cigarette, they would be there with the lighter, ready to light it up for him and stuff. I'm like, this is fucking bizarre.
That's full service.
It's very full service and very, very interesting.
So did you sing a song in karaoke?
I did.
What was your song?
We sang.
We or
no,
you?
I sang "Suspicious Minds." That's
okay. Elvis Presley.
Also, so
my
for
favorite
me,
Elvis song.
No, it's a very good.
Not your rendition of it.
No, Mike. No, it's fine.
I mean, you do a fine job, but Elvis did it better. I don't think that's an egregious statement to say that Elvis did it better.
No,
sorry.
No, you're 100% correct. The problem is, so I don't know. I feel like I can sing a lot of stuff, and I never know what I want to sing ever. So I like using luck and randomness. So if there's like a book at a karaoke setting, I just flip through a book and just like literally stop at a page and hit it. And like, okay, what am I singing? Okay, well, I'm not going to sing that, but I'm going to sing the song above it. You know, something.
Okay, a barometer to give you to get you to a point.
Right. I don't. Me and karaoke.
Yeah. It's a dangerous relationship.
It's a real push ball.
But anyway, what was the response? Did people like it? Did people enjoy it? Because I've been in your presence when you do karaoke.
Yeah.
And it's a bit much for me.
Yeah.
But
I put on a show.
You put on a show, and because the last time I saw you do karaoke, we walked into a bar, unknowing that it was karaoke. Like we didn't know. But there was a guy singing one of the saddest renditions of It's 5 o'clock somewhere, or some song like that, like literally staring at his shoes. And then we come to find out that if you sing a song, they'll give you a free shot. A free drink or something like that. And it's like, this dude was he was just sadly singing this song just to go through the motions, just so he'd get the free drink. And because it was very bad. It was very horrible.
It's not,
And then you, to your credit, you went up there and you put on a show.
I put on a show.
You put on a show. It's almost like you get karaoke fandom, because people that are sadly looking at their shoes.
Yeah.
Come
I
up
see people light up when I start singing.
And they're like, that guy just put on a show.
Do you get that a lot when you sing and when you perform? You see people light up? And you're like, oh, that's why I do this.
Well, I mean, I'm better at being a musician than you are.
Oh,
sorry.
That's kind of presumptuous.
I do it professionally, so.
Oh, professionally, huh?
Well, do you get paid to do karaoke?
I have.
You when?
No, I have.
I was going to say when, because that negates my argument immediately. Like, of course you get that. No,
I won a karaoke contest once.
Go on.
So I got like $50. This is a few years ago.
Okay. That's a start, man.
No, it's fine.
Tell me about your karaoke contest.
No, it was at a hotel here in town, so it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Now you don't want to brag.
No, because it's fine. Like
Okay.
it's not like, no, I don't want to brag. No, so I enjoy.
What was your winning song?
Yeah.
What was the format for the karaoke contest? Tell me about. Did you have to pick a different song every time?
Yeah. So I mean, it was 3 songs. So yeah, you got to sing 3 songs, which is
quarter of a set.
It's like, well, no, and the thing is, that you also need to be able to tell a story.
Oh.
You got to be, you got to find a theme, and like you got to have your ups and downs, right? You've got to be able to, have
Make a set list.
Yeah, it's kind of, you need to have a little.
Yeah.
So in Dubuque rules karaoke. You sing 2 songs at a time, and I like to try to. Once again, it's a little bit harder with 2 songs to, tell a story or have a theme or something like that, right?
Are you Cole? Are you as confused about telling the story aspect?
Yes, I don't
I
know
mean,
what
like
you mean by that.
you need to have a continuous thought. You don't want to just go from
You can't go from "It's Raining Men" to
Right.
"You Do Believe in Love," or
nor like you don't want to do like Sir Mix-a-Lot and then I don't know.
"It's Tricky."
Or not. I'm thinking like something else completely random.
Dolly Parton or something.
Yeah. I was trying to think of some
So
like
you need theme
shitty
and
country
variation.
song. Yeah. Well, you need to have but also like having a continuing thread between songs. I always enjoy.
But you can't go back to back Meatloaf and expect to win a championship.
Right.
Could I ask what you did with the winnings? Like, did you go to Universal Studios?
No,
with that, or-
it's not
That
that.
was a
no.
down payment for a fourth of a ticket.
Fourth of a ticket. No. It's. Yeah. So I'll
He immediately bought a Batman Forever replica
oh my God.
action figure.
Yeah, oh.
Val Kilmer. Okay.
Yeah.
So was it? Hold on, I got questions. man.
Okay, you
I
got
got
questions.
questions. You spring on that you won a karaoke
Yes.
contest, and you've never mentioned this to me at all.
Well, because I'm not a bragger.
How old were you when you won this thing?
Oh, this is probably like 6 years ago,
6 years ago.
7
Okay.
years ago.
So I'm not a bragger. Where was this held?
So it was at the Best Western Champs. It was Champs,
Okay.
and now it's Old
I
Chicago.
like that it's Best Western. Like,
It's the-
I
yeah,
won.
it's-
I won a karaoke contest at a Best Western.
At a Best Western. It was a
That-
restaurant inside the Best Western. It's not connected. It's connected to the Best Western. It's not in the Best Western, or it's not.
This goes on your Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I won a won a karaoke contest at a Best Western.
Yeah, it's fine.
You were the best Western.
Yeah.
Karaoke.
Right.
So do you remember the songs that you sang?
No. I think.
Natural Storyteller. Come on, you won a championship with it.
What did I sing? I don't remember. Because I don't like.
Okay.
Like I said, I enjoy singing. The part of my philosophy, right? I don't know like have like a set list. There are motherfuckers out there who have like little document in their phone of saying
These are the songs.
These are the songs I sing.
Yeah.
And then there's like people like my ex sister-in-law who only sings one song.
Yeah.
And that's it. When we're out, we're doing karaoke, I'm going to sing my one song.
Yeah.
And there's people like who are precious about. I mean, like, there was a guy I knew that we used to hang out with. We were friends with. He left the city. And if you sang one of his songs, he would
His
get
songs?
one of his songs. He would get pissy.
You got a different timbre with your voice when you did that.
He would get he'd get pissy with you.
Hey,
like
he took his song.
Like that's one of my songs.
Uh-huh.
That's one of the songs I sing, and it's like, well, fuck you. You don't get to own. I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of a good example.
You can call me Al.
Yeah, that's not yours forever. If somebody else wants to sing that,
Yeah.
that's up to them. Well, I can't do that one anymore.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm like, I believe in a thing called love. That was one of his.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was his go-to. That was his showstopper. And it's like, I like that song. I think I can do that song pretty well. I guess I can't sing that now forever.
What you're describing right now is all the reasons why I hate karaoke.
Well, no, like, and I don't. That's why I don't subscribe to that thought.
Yeah,
That's why I prefer randomness.
You're acceptable karaoke.
There is a lot. There's so many beautiful songs in the whole wide world. Don't limit yourself to like 3 or
well,
10.
That's all they feel comfortable doing.
Well, get out your comfort zone.
So did you get any groupies? Did you get any karaoke groupies?
No,
Groupies?
I mean the ladies they did have fun, and also it was interesting.
The ladies, like the
Oh no
collective
no!
ladies?
Are you talking about like at
In Japan?
In Japan, yeah, no, yes. Well, like
No, yes.
yes, the the bartender ladies who were sitting with us, and then also my wife and a couple of other moms of like in the group of that my son is, and also my son was there as well, which was that was a lot of fun being able to, share that with him.
Pass the karaoke torch.
Yeah,
to
a little
your
bit.
son?
So I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Why?
No. So we went. My brother-in-law, my brother and my sister-in-law. For their wedding anniversary, they would often do wedding anniversary karaoke, where they would go out on the night of their wedding, and invite a bunch of people out. We'll all go sing and do stuff together.
Okay.
One time, my mother happened to be in town with my brother. That's not my married brother. Another brother.
Gotcha.
Okay, and
oh no, I gotcha.
They decided my mother and my brother sang "Paradise by the Dashboard Light" together, and all of us were slightly, we were confused because it's, this is a song about these two people having sex. This is inappropriate.
It's not an afternoon delight situation, but it's close.
Close.
Yeah.
But this is inappropriate for a mother-son duet.
Depending on the part of the country.
Yeah. Where I'm from, still frowned upon. So while we're there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bust out Meatloaf's "I'll Do Anything for Love," but I won't do that.
And sing it with your sister?
No, I sang it with my son. And like, as we're like going, I'm like, oh, God, this has shades of.
Here's the pot calling the kettle
yeah,
black.
right. I'm like, oh, but I mean, it was good. Like being able to sing a song and like it was like being able to communicate. Okay, you do this part, I'm going to do this part, and then it got to the women, like at the end, the grand crescendo of "I'll Do Anything for Love," where it's the woman singing, and I'm like, hey, are you going to sing the women's part? Or am I okay? I guess I'm singing the women's part because he's not familiar with it, but. Yeah, it was like, oh, this is wrong.
We're in a territory.
Yeah,
this
is.
I do find that funny. Like the one thing that could amplify the inappropriateness of the situation, moving from like your sister or your mom, is to your son.
Yeah, it's like
I would do anything
for that, but I won't do that. And it's like,
and then you leave immediately and you never come back home.
Yeah,
that's the one thing.
Will you hose me down with holy water if I get too hot? Yeah, I was like, golly, that hits different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
what
that's
else?
good.
What else was on the list? Yeah.
What I want to know though, like, so were you met with like groupies?
Oh,
so were there karaoke groupies?
No, there wasn't a lot of other women.
I've seen dudes come up to you.
Oh yeah, I've had that, but no, the other like men at the bar, they were not too interested in what we were doing because.
So you weren't regaled?
No. I mean, the bartenders, of course, but that's not real. You know what I mean? They're just trying to get
I don't know. That's why you went there. To regale us. Thanks for burping right in the microphone.
I was trying to go off to the side, but it didn't.
I'm just going to do that. That's for myself so I can see the audio line. So the cheapest show we saw. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What'd you watch?
We got $55 tickets.
55
for Sweeney Todd on a Wednesday matinee, which is pretty good.
I'm sure. And listen, I'm sure it was a lovely production. I mean,
well, I'm talking price wise. The show was fine, whatever. But like the price, because when we started off looking at this stuff, it was like $170, and I'm like, no, thank you.
Broadway ain't cheap, babe.
It's not, and you know me and my well-documented musical struggles. Yeah,
this is
where I'm like,
this is well-covered ground.
Yeah, I don't. We got Rush Ticks like notifications for the Book of Mormon for $50, and if it came about, they would send you a notification or whatever. But I'm like, even like I've seen it already. I don't need to see it again.
You don't need to see it again.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
I love Matt and Trey. I love them.
Right.
But no, at no point do I need to.
And it's not gonna be Josh Gad up there,
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is. Honestly, like I've seen it already. It's fine.
Seen it all.
It's all right. But so I'm like at 170, 120 or whatever the hell it was. I'm like, absolutely not. No, thank you.
No.
And so we're like, we'll monitor it as it goes along. And my wife, you can enter a lottery.
Yes.
Where you get selected, for these price points. And the price points were good. Like they worked,
$30.
Something, yeah.
$40.
$40 if you got the lottery and everything like that.
Yeah.
We didn't get the lottery for it, but I have the Game Time app, and this episode's brought to you by Game Time, by the way.
Game Time, if you're looking to get tickets to something, I'm sure Game Time is a thing that does that.
Yeah, they do that. And you might be able to get a good price, or maybe you get host. Either way, Game Time has the ticket for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Hey, Game Time, please send us money, please. God, oh my God, I need the money now.
Yeah.
I got to pay for this trip I took. It's bad.
I'll never financially
recover from this.
We bought tickets, so the show was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we bought tickets at 12:15. And I was like, all right, well, because we can do it, we can get there. Like we were close and everything. I'm like, yeah, we'll do this, and it was $55. And so what we went to a bar earlier in the week, and the guy was like, if you go to the box office and you talk to them. Yeah. Maybe you just ask, like, hey, do you have any discounts or any deals or anything like that? That's a way to get a better price. And
like
everything.
Box office at the theater,
at the theater,
not TKTS,
not TKTS, yeah, TKTS.
Yeah.
Yes, we go to the actual box office at the actual theater, and we're like, okay, so but we're at 12:15, and I'm like, okay, well, tickets are $55 right now, you know, for here, and I'm like, we can totally do this, and we can. Like buy it right now. This is a better price than the 120.
That's a pretty good price, quite
2
frankly.
days ago, you know. And so it became the situation of like, do we gamble basically?
Right.
And I'm like, well, we can
you
buy
love gambling.
I do love gambling. And with this app, with Game Time, and that's why Game Time is so great, guys. Is that you can sell the tickets back. So if we got to the box office and then we're like, oh, there is a better deal, $40 tickets. Sure, absolutely. Sure. Try to sell these things for whatever the hell it's worth. You know, great. So, but we decided like we're going to buy the tickets and we'll go. So we buy the tickets. We get there. The line is fucking forever. It's a forever line to get in. You know, so there's no way to get into the box office to determine like if we can get a deal or not. Yeah. And it was funny because going to a Broadway show before, like, know that drinks are just insane.
They're very expensive. They're $15-$20 a pop.
Yeah, for alcohol. Yeah. Like even like water in is insane. So I'm like, I'm gonna grab a bottle of water before we go in, you know, and then just have that while we wait in line. So stop at a little stand, like $5 for a bottle of water. I'm like, fuck you guys. God damn, $5 for a fucking
bottle of water. Was it Evian?
No, it wasn't even good. It was just like the natural spring.
Was it good?
I mean, it was water. It was fine.
Was it wet?
Yeah, it was wet.
Was it cold?
Yeah, it was cold too. So,
okay. So did it taste bad?
No.
So it did.
But it wasn't. It did. It wasn't worth $5 though.
Okay. All right.
And then so then we go to wait in line, and then we realize that the line that we're in is for the orchestra, and we're in the mezzanine, and the orchestra line is like, I don't know, 70 yards, like far, like it's so long,
so much longer,
and the mezzanine is like right to the door, like it's 5 people versus 100 and 200 people or whatever the hell it was, you know. It was exaggerated. Like how different the lines were. So then I have this bottle of water, so I chug it, get in there, and I'm like, all right, we're in the theater. I'll grab a bottle of water just to see, you know, how cheap it is, or to have something to sit there because I was incredibly dehydrated. Anyway, $5 in the theater too. I was like, you motherfuckers! Like, it's the same price in the theater versus out the theater. That's it's crazy.
No, but that's why I don't go to New York anymore.
But the crazy thing though is that the seats that we were in, the 3 rows of seats in front of us.
Okay.
So we had 2 seats, and then the 2 seats in front of us, the 2 seats in front of those, and the 2 seats in front of those were all empty. Everything else
was there like a column in the way?
No.
Was it obstructed?
It wasn't an obstructive view at all. No. Everything else though was completely packed. Absolutely, but except for some reason, these 3, sets of rows.
This is weird.
It was great for us because there was no one in front of us.
You had a good line of sight. Yeah. But that's weird. That's very weird.
All right, the last thing. Craziest thing you saw.
I mean, really, like, not. I didn't see anything that crazy. I mean, listen, I saw a 5-story wooden pagoda that was built in 950. I mean, that's
crazy.
I mean, Like, for me, that's crazy.
You saw a Japanese man playing Dennis Hopper as well.
I did, and then another one that got set on fire. So there's that. I mean, no, because that's the climax of the show. But that's a stunt show. I was expecting that.
Sure, you were
so
expecting
that's not
crazy.
crazy. Crazy involves.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the festival that was happening in the town that my son was at, the fire festival, that's crazy. That's like wackadoodle.
Was Ja Rule there?
No, I kept an eye out for him, and also what's the dog? Which Tokyo Drift?
Bow Wow.
Little Bow Wow. I was keeping an eye out for him as well
The
as
dog.
Lucas. Lucas, what's his name? Lucas Black.
Yes.
God, I know we've been spending way too much time that I'm able to name actors from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. That's a real problem. Anyhow,
Hold on 1 second. I have it here.
3, 2, yeah. So the festival that was happening. I mean, that's part of the reason we went. Is there was a big festival where they carry around a 2,000-pound float around the city. It's very heavy. It sucks. Like I carried it a little bit myself. It's very, very heavy.
What do you mean?
30 dudes around a wooden pole, almost like a, I don't know, like the thing that you put on your shoulders and you walk around with it. It's okay. Anyhow, and then so they do that. They will parade around with them. Then they also crash them into each other. And then at the end of the weekend, they light them all on fire, which is. It's very interesting, literally in a confined space with 3,000 people in a very confined space. So they're crashing these things into each other. People are getting pushed around. It's nuts. It's called the Sachicho Fire Festival or something like that. It's very interesting. I mean, as far as I didn't see a dude taking a piss and then eating garbage ramen. I didn't see that.
That wasn't the craziest thing I saw.
That wasn't the craziest thing you saw. You saw.
I know.
You saw a guy who pissed on a fence and then went directly to a garbage can and started eating ramen out of the garbage can.
Yeah.
That's not the craziest thing you saw.
That's not the craziest thing you saw.
Okay.
I saw.
Okay, then what is...
The craziest thing I saw was a dude in the subway fully remove his pants and then take...
Shoes on or off?
It was shoeless.
Shoeless.
It was a nice day in New York.
Shoeless... Okay, he wasn't wearing shoes.
No.
He removed his pants.
I mean, he might have had shoes that he just set off to the side.
Okay. I'm going to set these off here.
Right.
So he's Porky Pigging it.
Yeah, Donald Ducking all day long.
Okay.
And then he proceeded to, just push his, lean over the track, lean over onto the tracks and then take a shit.
So
that was the craziest thing.
I mean, there's two elements to this. I mean, taking a shit, removing your pants and shitting in public. That's
a bold move.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's on the level.
Or homeless, one of the two.
That's on the same level as taking a piss on a fence and then eating garbage ramen.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of leaning your ass over, I mean, he's well over that safety yellow line.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, and to shit.
Good quad strength.
And you gotta really believe in yourself. And no,
I don't think it was his first time.
Not wobbling around, just pure rock solid.
If I remember correctly,
squat.
he was washing himself. I think he gave himself a little horse bath stuff as well. So
from what?
Just like a wet nap, Oh
my god.
He was. Yeah, my wife saw it first. As we were walking, she's like, "Oh my god, what the hell's going on?" And I look over, "Oh, I know exactly what that dude's doing."
Is squatting over and taking a shit that's so dangerous. I don't want to be that close to electrocuted while taking a shit. That's a horrible idea.
Right. And that's clearly he's done it before because it was towards the end of the actual subway as well. So it wasn't this is the middle part of the subway and he's going to be doing it. There was a little bit of courtesy involved.
Good for him.
He was waiting until the end of the subway.
He went all the way down the line.
Yeah.
Was he bracing himself on the wall?
No, it was freeform.
Okay.
It was freeform.
That is quad strength. That's core strength.
Yeah.
It
was a weird Pilates move that he was doing to a poop Pilates maybe.
Yeah, I cannot imagine there's no way going, let's say, I'm never going to do this, but
you should try it.
If I was going to poop off of a dock into a lake,
that's the whole thing.
that's not, I don't feel like I'd be comfortable doing that.
Well,
and there's no element of death waiting for me on the other side of that falling off a dock.
True. And the element of death is the thing that is the scary part for me.
That's scary.
That's the scary part for me. But for the other side, for him to justify his decision making, is that public bathrooms in New York are very hard to come by.
Hard to come by.
So you have to buy something. They keep that shit on lock and key, literally.
Yes.
So this dude, he's just he's living his life, and he did everything that he needed to do to keep it as civil as possible. Sure. I think
he wasn't shouting, "Hey, everybody, look at me! I'm
Correct.
shitting on this train track."
Correct.
This is a form of protest, therefore it's art and legal in this sense.
Correct.
Okay.
All he was doing was, I need to take a shit, and I cannot afford to buy something.
Where am I? And I'm not going to do it on the floor. I'm not going to do it on the ground where people walk. I'm going to do it as a courtesy. It's pooping right on the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a horrible idea.
Well, he was nice that he did it that way.
What? I think this is a very low bar, Bobby. Come on. It's nice that he pooped this way. Also, you're telling me you can't keep your pants on as well?
Well, that was a whole. I would have asked him the question if I felt comfortable, but
I don't.
I would rather buy the guy a sandwich so that he can take a shit in a deli or something. But
or like just into a plastic bag.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is horrible. No, I saw nothing crazy like that. No.
Right.
I mean, I saw an old Taiwanese guy like immediately start watching Wonka on the television on the flight over, but that's about it. Like immediately just went right into Wonka. That's about the craziest thing I saw. No.
All right, at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this could be a podcast brought to you by, what's the app?
Game Time.
Game Time.
Thanks, guys.
This could be a podcast Game Time.
We're rich now. Hey, guys, thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Be sure to smash that like button and really pound that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Just give it to those shares and likes.
Yeah, just, get real biblical with the comment section, I guess.
Yeah.
I
really
guess,
scorched earth.
Be
lit AF.
Yeah. Also, guys, that'd be great if you could do all of that because we need this to work.